It triggers a good talking point for us because Luis Enrique is obviously dealing with a problem that seems to come from a few different factors of the modern game, right? Which would be the number of games, the amount of travel that players are having to deal with, and also the kind of the volume of games for these younger players as well, particularly. Just as a starting point for the conversation, do we all agree that the workload on players of this generation is a problem, Jamie?
Yeah, I think we do. I think that this crops up every season or so. We look at the number of games that get played by players, new competitions, and I think in the last probably couple of years we've started to hear a little bit more from the players, I think, complaining about the amount of games. It's very difficult when you're a player to complain because the thing that will get thrown back at you is the money that you earn. So it's very difficult. But I do think predominantly Rodri, actually. I think about maybe 18 months ago he was very vocal about, and he ends up being the Ballon d'Or winner not so long after. So that is a big player. But I think it's always been difficult in the past because of that reason. But I think it's getting to the stage now where it almost does feel like enough is enough, that we'll maybe start to see some of the players come out and speak.
How do we solve it though, Jamie? I mean, it's difficult. I mean, we're here, sat in this, doing Champions League. They've added more games this season. We're hypocrites sat here really talking about the players. We are. We are.
Don't say we.
Well, I'm making...
We don't run the Champions League.
Yes, but we're still doing it today, and we're still covering it. And when they add an extra games, we still cover the Champions League, don't we? Who has the divine right to say we can add more games or we can take away less games?
Club
World Cup. Sorry?
It's UEFA, isn't it? So you've got UEFA, you do the Europe, you've got FIFA for the world. And for me, the two of those organisations, UEFA for me, listen, we're talking about an extra couple of games in the Champions League, OK. But in terms of adding competitions, that's the problem for me. Not adding a game in a competition that's been going for, what, 50, 70, 80 years, the European Cup and Champions League. The UEFA adding the Nations League was just, it wasn't needed. FIFA adding the Club World Cup was not needed. Nobody is out there asking for those competitions. They're just providing them to make more money, and that's it. We know why there is more games.
It is difficult to see the solution, as Micah says, because from an organisational standpoint, you can understand why nobody's really going to give ground, because that's accepting less money. So where does the solution have to come from? Does that mean that it has to come from the player side, Thierry?
Look, I'm going to go a bit to my story. I've been in that situation, maybe not the numbers that those guys are reaching right now. I used to arrive in tournament dead, mentally, physically. 2002, I arrived injured. 2004, I arrived injured. 2008, I arrived injured. I just arrived there to play. I couldn't prepare. You don't prepare a competition. You know, normally you should be preparing a competition like that to be able to perform at the highest level. Not only me, a lot of players, by the way. But if you talk about a solution, again, I go back. What solution? How are we debating on something that we cannot control? I'm not playing anymore. So if you come to me and all the players that you see sometimes walking along with UEFA and FIFA, you know, they're not playing, they're asking them questions. And I know Jamie's been in that situation, but Jamie's not a player anymore. Like, you're coming to ask me, what shall we do? As long as the players don't unite themselves to be strong and be vocal about it, and it's not a matter of money. Money is on the table, you have more games, but then, you know, what you want to see is the best team on the field, the best players to be able to perform. We want to see a great spectacle. And I'm going to go further. As a fan, I'm tired. I didn't watch the Club World Cup. I had to do something in the final. I left halftime.
The excess makes you lose appetite.
It's too much. Like, I love my family, and at one point I need a break also. Like, I love football, but, you know, who watched it? Come on, too much is too much also. And I love it. But let's all be honest. Too much is too much, and that's why I think we're not hypocrites. I didn't watch the World Cup, the Club World Cup.
But
I watched one game.
Yeah, but I
went to the final.
It,
I left at halftime. Again, but
it's so hard, isn't it? Because the fans really enjoyed the Club World Cup. The final was absolutely amazing, wasn't it?
How deep is your pocket as a fan now?
Well, it's difficult for the fans.
How deep is your pocket now to go to the Nations League, to go to the Champions League, to go to the two cups that you have in England, to go to and to buy the shirts and to buy, and I love it. All the shirts look good and everything. I'm just saying, we're talking here. We don't know all the whole story. We know the whole story behind it, but we don't have the power to change things as ex-players, and we're not sitting in a position to take decisions. So we can be talking here for the whole day, bringing great solutions, great, and have great ideas. The only people that can change their destiny is the player themselves. Point.
This is only going to get worse as well, because let's not forget, FIFA were talking about having a World Cup every 2 years as well. You know, that this is not getting scaled back, no matter what we say, and Thierry's right. And it maybe would have to come to a situation where some of the greatest players in the world come together and just say enough is enough, and they refuse to play. What happens with the clubs? Because Micah's talking about the Club World Cup. I think the only people who were really happy with that was maybe club owners. You think of the money Chelsea got on the back of winning that competition. You know, you think about where that money came from. It wasn't from TV companies, because no one was really interested in it. But they found the money from somewhere to make sure clubs pushed for it.
Well, the reason is, sorry, Thierry, quickly, the reason why clubs go and take the money is because of financial fair play. That's the reason now. So they're almost stretched from both sides. Players' welfare doesn't come into it in the end, because if you're trying to compete, I give the example with Chelsea when we was debating a couple of weeks ago. How do you compete with a Man City, a Liverpool, a Arsenal? You have to look at it in a different way, and that was their way of getting some more finances in and balancing their books, putting players on longer contracts. So no matter where you look at it, Thierry's right. There's nothing really you can do. The clubs could help you out a little bit. The clubs can say no to these competitions, but financially, for their books, they want to be in the competitions.
Look, for me, it's pretty simple. It's not about complaining. And it's not about saying players are on too much money or debating. It's about having an educational discussion with the players' union, a proper one, not with the ex-players. Don't call me UEFA. Do not call me FIFA. I'm not playing anymore. I don't know how it feels anymore. I know how it felt. I don't know how it feels anymore. So speak to Van Dijk, speak to Mo Salah, speak to
Do you
whoever.
think that's not happening?
I don't know. This is what I'm saying. Sit with them, have a discussion with them. They are the actors right now.
But then who loses out? And again, you bring it back round.
This is the
I understand your point.
What I'm trying to say
You're
is...
saying to say they can make the point, we can't make the point, we're ex-players, we're not in that position. But if a player comes out and says, I don't want to play this game, again, it comes right back down to the fan who is losing out.
Micah, that's not the point.
Fans not losing out.
No.
If a player doesn't want to play in a competition...
We're talking about, listen, the fans are watching them all season. We're talking about specific tournaments or moments in time.
But that again, that's hypocrisy again.
I'm
because
just saying...
specific tournaments, who decides which tournament players should be in and shouldn't be in? That is the question. If a new tournament comes and adding more games, of course, for us and for fans and for players, it's frustrating. I understand the point that you're trying to make, Thierry, but at the end of the day, if a player comes out and says, well, I'm not playing at that tournament, the fan is, at some point, missing out.
Who said that? I said, you need to have a discussion with the current players and the hierarchy, with a proper player union, then they can discuss and find a solution, not us. The solution is not a player to say, I'm not playing, I don't want to go on the field. Nobody wants that. I said you need to have an intelligent and emotional, educational talk. The hierarchy...
But your opinion goes a long way.
I know, I'm just offering a solution. Players' union, bring one with some current players, not us or whoever is talking to the hierarchy. Sit with the hierarchy and see what can be done for everyone to advance.
What he's saying is, speak to current players who are going through it. Don't speak to ex-players who are just on the gravy train getting a few quid from UEFA or FIFA. That's basically it, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's difficult to find a straightforward way forward in this, isn't it? OK, everybody.